The competition for American muscle supremacy is fierce, but is there a clear winner? When it comes to muscle cars, we are talking about a big gasoline gulping V8s with enough torque to alter the planet's rotation could only work where the roads are wide and the gas is cheap. Whereas in high-revving high-tech drivetrains and offer a delicate handling balance and poise, we prefer to focus on slightly less subjective traits such as how the thing makes you feel from behind the wheel. When judged from this perspective, of the current crop of muscle cars, it is not the eminently capable Mustang or sharp Camaro that provide the best old-school muscle car feel, but the rough-at-the-edges Challenger. Let us explain. In recent years, the Ford Mustang has moved the game on with an independent rear suspension setups that have made the once unruly Stang a far more biddable pseudo-thoroughbred. The most powerful offerings currently are the Shelby GT350 and GT350R, while the 5. It is only available paired to a 6-speed manual transmission too, so it is clear that Ford has amended its muscle car definition to make the GT350 more BMW M4 competitor than boulevard burbler. Road testers have commented on the lightness of the clutch and other controls, hardly the stuff that muscle cars are known for. The power delivery too only starts to make its presence felt once the tacho passes 3,500 RPM, a point at which most traditional muscle cars are just about ready for the next gear. The fact that the power peak occurs at a lofty 7,500 RPM must be a record for a Mustang. Even the brakes are up to the task of hauling the GT350 to a stop, lap after lap. This sort of all-round capability and competence does come at a price. The base GT350 starts at just over $57,000. The GT350R is $64,645. Add the track pack included in the R, or opt for the technology pack, and you will soon be challenging those European sports sedans on pricing too. Don't hold out much hope lower down the range. The base Mustang is now offered with an efficient and soulless turbocharged 4-cylinder motor, and the V8 models are limited to a pony car rivaling 460 horsepower. While they can be had with an automatic transmission, it is a dot. So, what about the Camaro? Well, here you also start off with one of those European-style downsized turbo 4-potters, but the base V8 is a reassuring big lump of metal displacing 6. Interior space is on the tight side. The rear seats are best used as additional storage space to complement the small trunk, and you get more outward visibility peering out of a submarine's periscope. is very at home on the track too. Its brakes refuse to fade even after repeated hard use, and only the GT350R will post quicker lap times. As a traditional muscle car, it fares a bit worse. Yes, the big supercharger and availability of an 8-speed automatic do make for an effortless quarter-mile car, but the driving experience is more polished sports coupe and old-style tire smoker. The traditional recipe for producing a muscle car was to take one large capacity V8, stick it in a big coupe body shell, and send it on its way. A sophisticated suspension setup or sharp steering feel were just not part of the equation. All they were required to do was smoke everything else to the quarter mile and idle menacingly at the lights. The Challenger has stayed most true to this simple and grin-inducing formula, and it is the only car here that will seat 3 abreast in the rear, and the trunk is the largest by a fair margin. The interior fit and finish also brings to mind the indifferent build quality of the original 60s muscle cars, as does the stiff steering and reluctance to go around corners. We call it character. If you want a nimble sports car, then there are plenty other options out there. The cheapest V8-powered Challenger is currently the 375-horsepower 5.7-liter RT. At $33,495, it undercuts the 460-horsepower 5.0-liter V8 Mustang GT by $2,500, and the 455-horsepower 6.2-liter V8 Camaro SS1 by a whopping $4,500. You can also opt for the 6.4-liter 485-horsepower RT Scat Pack, which is still under $40,000 and will leave most things choking in its cloud of tire smoke at the prod of the gas pedal. It doesn't end there either. Whereas the Mustang offerings top out at 523 horsepower, and the most powerful Camaro has 650 horsepower, the Challenger is available in, which comes packed with a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 producing 707 horsepower and a very serious 650 pounds-feet of torque. The $65,495 starting price places it right in the ballpark with the other two, but in terms of straight-line acceleration and horsepower per dollar, it has them firmly beat. More powerful brakes and sports suspension do help keep you on the road for longer, and for 2018 a wide-body kit is available too, but the SRT Hellcat remains a dyed-in-the-wool muscle car. In a modern context, the 707-horsepower SRT Hellcat is firmly in that ballpark, but the car that will surely reach legendary status in the range is the insane 840-horsepower SRT Demon. This supercharged beast has seemingly been designed to Vin Diesel's fast car design template, namely the ability to complete the quarter mile in 10 seconds. The Demon actually does it in 9.54 seconds while lifting its front wheels into the air. It lays claim to being the quickest acceleration production car on the planet, and with a 0-60 miles per hour time of 2. The $84,995 asking price may seem a bit steep, but not when taken in the context of its all-conquering acceleration capabilities. The available Demon crate contains front drag wheels, a hydraulic floor jack and high-octane engine calibration among other performance-enhancing items, so it quickly becomes clearly that the SRT Demon is not meant for daily driving duties. The stripped-out cabin and grippy, but noisy drag tires add to the din inside the cabin, but just idling up to your local watering hole will have onlookers straining to see what thundering machine has just arrived. A prod of the throttle will have children and small animals dispersing to a safe distance, knowing that at any moment you could lay waste to your rear tires in a flurry of V8 power. Now isn't that what a muscle car is supposed to be all about?